Hi, my name is Amy Yan. I am the author in Resilience. I am not reading my chapter word for word, but what I'm about to share with you is kind of how it led me to write my chapter. So this is me being open, honest, and vulnerable, okay? So bear with me. Living in a hut on a dirt road with no food, no running water, or no electricity. Having to walk miles to a lake infested with leeches just to bathe, fearing for their lives during a time of communism while millions were being enslaved and millions were being killed. This is how my parents lived in the 70s in Cambodia. In times of adversity, my parents always had resilience and taught it to me growing up. This is where my story begins of who I am. In 1979, my parents got sponsored to come to the States as refugees. They came here to find a place of safety, freedom, and a better life. They traveled to Bevel, Illinois with their 1-year-old daughter, Saria. In 1980, my middle sister, Karen, was born. In 1981, I was born. I am Amy Yan. I am a woman. I'm 100% Cambodian. I'm a sister, a friend, a wife, and a mother. I am who I am. This is me. At the age of 2, I almost lost my life. I was playing at my grandmother's house, and it was a very old brown house. They had no central AC and no screens on the windows. The windows were open, and I could hear my parents outside. As a curious 2-year-old, I wanted to see if I could see them from the second floor. I ran up to the second floor and peeked my head out the window. I couldn't see them. So I pushed myself further and I fell out, hitting a window AC unit and landed on the ground. I laid there in my own pool of blood from the impact. My parents tried to find me inside, but I was nowhere to be found. They went outside and found me on the ground, thinking I was dead. They rushed me to the hospital, and by the grace of God, I stand here before you today. I am who I am. This is me. Being the youngest of 3 daughters growing up, I always felt I had to prove myself to be seen. I felt no matter what I did, I was being compared to my sisters. It was never my parents' intentions for them to make me feel insignificant, but this is how I felt. I couldn't shake the way I felt, and when I brought it to their attention, it made me feel like I was hallucinating my feelings. My parents couldn't understand why I felt the way I felt when in their minds they loved their children just the same, which left me feeling even more confused about my feelings, my purpose in life, and who I was. I tried my whole life to prove to my parents that I'm no different than my sisters. Can you imagine being the youngest sibling and having to prove time and time again that you matter? You start to feel alone and unappreciated. Well, all I'm trying to do is just be me. Why can't I just be loved for just being me? I am who I am. This is me. As a kid growing up, I went to school always trying to figure out where I fit in. My skin color was not the same. My culture was different than that of everyone else. I didn't feel accepted. All I wanted to do was feel a sense of belonging. Imagine being a child feeling alone and different, feeling left out and misunderstood. Can you imagine that for your child today? Why didn't anyone want to befriend me or hang out with me? Was it because of my skin color? Could it be who I am? I am who I am. This is me. I went to school with no help from my parents because they didn't know how to read, write, or speak English. Imagine being in kindergarten through high school, having no parental support with your homework, and imagine not being able to speak to your parents about anything because they didn't understand the American culture or their history. Imagine going through school, being taught by educators, but also as a kid teaching your parents at the same time. Was this the life of other kids? Why was my life so different? I am who I am. This is me. I started a new job right out of high school. I thought coming into this new environment, I would be able to come in as myself and allow people to accept me for who I am. But I was wrong. As a minority woman coming into a male-dominated industry, I had to work 10 times harder to prove my worth. I had to get louder to be heard and make moves to be seen. But no matter what I did, it was never good enough. Imagine your boss telling you that in order for you to make more money, you had to sell more, but every year you witnessed everybody else getting raises for doing the same exact thing that they were already paid to do. Why can't I be treated like an equal? Was it because I'm a woman? Was it because of my skin color? Imagine going through that for 23 years. I am who I am. This is me. I could stand here and tell you about all of my shortcomings, but we would be here for decades. I went to college and I never finished. I have kids out of wedlock. I got caught up in the wrong crowd and lost who I was. My life seemed like a never-ending nightmare in hardships and failures and being misunderstood. I was always trying to change who I was to please other people. Why can't I just be in this world as myself and be accepted for who I am? I wondered if I was supposed to die when I fell out of that 2-story window. Like, why am I even here? Why did I have to go through all the pain, feeling alone and unappreciated and confused? Then it hit me. God allowed me to live here to give me a purpose, and my purpose in life is to stand here before you today and to teach my kids to stand tall and break through any barriers. My purpose is to tell you to be your authentic self no matter what, and my purpose is to go through all the hardships and negative points in my life to be the strength that you need to cherish who you are and know your worth. If my parents could face fleeing slavery and getting out of poverty, adjusting to a new country, then I can face my own adversities. My challenges aren't as astronomical in theirs, but in my mind, I thought my challenges were bigger. I really realized it was my mindset that I had to alter what was happening around me. As the author of your own life, you too can change what happens in your next chapter. For me, I decided my skin color, my ethnicity, my gender, my lack of education, and my negative past does not define who I am. I decided my character is what defines me, and being me is good enough. Change your mindset, change your life, and change your next chapter. I am who I am. This is me. I am 100% Cambodian. I am a woman. I am a mom of 3 amazing children. I am a wife by common law. I am a daughter, a sister, and a friend. I am a successful business owner with no college degree. I am a thought leader and finally being seen. I have a sense of belonging on this earth and in my life. I feel appreciated and supported. I know my worth and I know who I am. Thank you for all of you who are here today. Thank you for being in this chapter of my life. And thank you for loving me and accepting me for who I am. Because I am who I am, this is me.